What is up, football fans? It is that time of the week again. It is Polar Opposites, episode 3.2. In this episode, we will be discussing, if it comes up, which NFL team do they remind you of? So we will be taking each USFL team and we will compare them to an NFL team and then debate why they remind us of that team. And then we will put up a poll after the episode airs, and you can tell us who you think defended their answer better. All right. As always, it is me, Ace of Pocket Aces _ USFL, up against at Nola Breakdown, Webb, the Webster Fedora, fighting Fedora himself. Webb, how you doing?
Good. Winner, chicken dinner. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what team?
Let's go with Pittsburgh, the Maulers.
Pittsburgh Maulers.
Yeah.
I have them as the 2014 Super Bowl winning Broncos.
Wow, that's high praise.
That is high praise, but it's not necessarily high praise. It is because in that Super Bowl, their offense did basically zero. Their offense was garbage.
Just the game, they were serviceable. Obviously,
they were serviceable. Exactly, that's the key word, serviceable. And their defense really held it together for them. I'm not saying that the Maulers will be as successful as them. I am just saying that the Maulers remind me of that scheme, that team dynamic. You know?
Wow.
All right, who you got?
Well, I did a little differently. Game manager. That's basically it. So they're gonna. I agree that the quarterback's not electric. The offense isn't. I don't want to say they're the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. I don't want to say that at all because that defense is not legendary. But they're going to have like a Trent Dilfer team. Like that's exactly like I think of Loletta as like Trent Dilfer. I've said millions of times Jimmy G. But so I'm gonna say I'll agree with you on the Broncos. I'll agree with you on the Broncos, but Loletta's not even Manning. Come on.
He's kind of Manning right before retiring.
There's no way. There's no way. Manning was like, I guess I'll give you this. I'll give you this because their offensive coordinator is the quarterback equalizer, and he's very pocket heady. You know, they keep talking about Loletta as being like this bright quarterback.
Awesome.
I guess that would be a Manning comparison. But
you know who else they said was a super bright quarterback, the smartest quarterback they'd ever talked to? Sean Mannion. Way to go. All right, who's your next team?
Let's go New Jersey.
The New Jersey Generals. All right, for the Generals, I have the 49ers with Jimmy G because I think they have the least impressive quarterback room. I think that their offensive weapons. Yep.
Least impressive quarterback room?
Yeah, with Ben Holmes and DeAndre Johnson.
So the room, the two of them combined, is the least impressive out of all 8 teams.
I think it's underwhelming when you look at the talent. So it's underwhelming when you look at the talent around them. When you look at Jimmy G, you're like, oh my gosh, he has, Raheem, what's his name? The running back. Yeah. He has what?
I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about. Go.
Yes. Oh, Raheem Mostert. Yeah. He has Deebo Samuel. He has these amazing offensive weapons, and he's just so average with them. And then their defense is where they actually make their money. And I think the Generals have a pretty good defense. So I think that's it. I think underwhelming quarterback, great weapons all over the offense, and then just kind of a black team at the end of the day.
I think they're Tampa before Tom Brady.
Before Tom Brady.
With Jameis Winston, a quarterback that can do a lot of things, talented. I think their quarterback room is better than what you're saying. But their defense is going to be solid and veteran led, and I think they're Tampa before Tom Brady.
Okay, all right. So it kind of feels like we're 1-1 right now. So who's the next team?
Tampa Bay Bandits.
The Tampa Bay Bandits are the 2018 Super Bowl winning Eagles.
Wow. I have them for another team. So I wrote down a few notes, and so we're going to mention these Eagles a couple times. So why the Bandits?
Really? Yeah, I also have another Eagles, but it's a different Eagles team. I have the Eagles because that was the year that the RPO got famous. It'd been around. It It wasn't used as much. And then everybody was just flailing at the fact. They were like, oh my gosh, Nick Foles is running RPOs every play. Whoa, he can run better than we expected with the Philly special. I think it was kind of overhyped. Yes, they won a Super Bowl, but it was just like people hadn't gotten used to it yet. And so I think people haven't gotten used to Jordan Ta'amu yet. They think that Todd Haley is going to be an amazing offensive coach. I think he's going to run a lot of RPOs, and I think maybe people catch up to him. But I think that that's where it is. I didn't really look at the defense necessarily on this one.
Yep.
But RPOs, man, when you think RPOs, you think the 2018 Eagles winning the Super Bowl. And when I think RPOs in the USFL, I think the Tampa Bay Bandits with Jordan Ta'amu, John Franklin III, and B.J. Emmons.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm not really original here, but I got the 2013 Steelers. They were pretty good. Todd Haley was the offensive coordinator.
Wow.
I think Tiamu's not going to run as many RPOs as you think. I think he's going to kind of be Big Ben. And with the wide receivers, Eli Rogers, I love him. So I just think they're the Steelers of Haley's generation with the Steelers. And they're going to be fun to watch. I really do. I think they're the best team. So
yeah, it's almost like Todd Haley got fired from that job. But who's your next team?
Wait a minute. Go back to that. And then I'll hit this point every single time that you bring that up. Everyone gets fired unless you're Bill Belichick. Everyone gets fired, man. You don't get to walk away. No one does unless you're a legend. Okay, he wasn't a legend. You're right. You got me on that. That's it. So the next one is Birmingham.
The Birmingham Stallions. I have them as the 2010 Eagles with Michael Vick.
Alex Magoo is Michael Vick.
No, actually. So Donovan McNabb stepped away from that team and they didn't really know what they were going to do. And Mike Vick came back and everybody was like, he's washed up. And then he was running around and throwing deep bombs. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen on this team. I think Alex Magoo is going to step down. He's going to hold the clipboard with that pretty hair of his. And I think Jamar Davis Smith is going to come in and Mike Vick the crap out of the ball.
I think it's the 2000. I'm going to throw you a curveball here. 2011 LSU Tigers. I really do. I think they're like the LSU. I think they're going to be a game manager, kind of not exciting on offense. I really don't, especially if Magoo's there. I don't think they're going to be electric on offense, and their defense is going to win them games. So those are the teams with Les Miles, and he was winning games 9-6 and everything. I think they're going to be that team for this. And you rated their defense 8th. I rated them 2nd. So obviously we have some differences there. So I love the differences. So, yeah.
100%.
Who you got for? Right. We'll save our teams for last. Philly.
We'll for the Philadelphia Stars, I had the 1998 Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, you're gonna have. I know you love the Vikings, but you're gonna have to explain this because they got big wide receivers. Is that it?
Because the 1998 Minnesota Vikings was the offense that was led by it was Randall Cunningham at quarterback, who people were sleeping on, came in and was just slanging the ball like nobody could believe, throwing it to Randy Moss and Chris Carter. Their defense, not amazing. It wasn't great. All it had to do was slow down the other team for Randy Moss and Chris Carter to go catch touchdowns, and then Jake Reed catch some over the middle because no one was paying attention to him, even though he was a great wide receiver. I think that is the Stars incarnate. I think people are sleeping on Brian Scott, other than people like us who actually know all football now. But I think he's going to come in. He's going to light it up. I think, let me look at my notes here. Jordan Sewell, Devin Gray, big receivers, and then Brennan Eagles coming in as Jake Reed. I think it's going to be great. I think that they are going to be an electric offense. They're going to be putting up points. I mean, Randall Cunningham was, while unknown, he was super mobile and had a huge arm. And I think that Brian Scott is literally him. I think that 1998 Minnesota Vikings.
You're going to be shocked here, but I'm saying that you might actually hate this one. They are the last 3 years of Matt LaFleur Green Bay Packers.
Why?
Because Brian Scott is electric. I'm not going to deny it.
Yes.
They've got big receivers. I think they're going to share the ball. I know they had Devontae Adams the last couple of years, but you got like Lazard and Valdez Scantling and just guys that are going to contribute. And I think their wide receivers are just going to contribute. I told you on the last episode, like Overton's going to be the third guy, but I think he's an NFL talent. I think he can play at the next level. So like, I think he is the A-Rod of Division III, right? That's what his nickname was. I think it just fits in with the Green Bay Packers. Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers, not McCarthy.
Okay, but Matt LaFleur is kind of underwhelming as the Green Bay Packers coach
in the playoffs. But what's to say that Philly is gonna? Hey, they were the number one seed going into the playoffs this year. They choked, but let's see if Philly can.
Because in 2020, the Generals and the TSL, led by Bart Andrus, Brian Scott, Darnell Holland, and Jordan Sewell, who are all on this team, didn't lose a game, including the championship.
Okay. We're going to disagree. The TSL did not excite me at all. It did not excite. Like it was glorified scrimmages in my mind. So
it was incredibly comparable to this league.
Half
the players in this league were in it.
Half, not all of them. Not all of them.
All right. Who you got next?
Let's go Michigan, and then it's just our teams left. So Michigan.
For Michigan, I have the Giants in recent years.
You know they're the worst franchise outside of the Jets.
100%. The Jets are on the come up. No, I think that they have a quarterback that looks good, has a good name, and then he just underplays. He gets hurt. I think that's Shea Patterson. And the Giants have weapons, which is what's so annoying, and they just can't put it together. And I think that that's going to happen. I think that they have good weapons on this Panthers team. I think that they completely screwed up with the first pick in the draft, and I think that they're going to be so underwhelming, and it's going to be upsetting because they are, if you bet on them right now, they are supposed to win the entire thing. And I think that they don't. I think they're going to be incredibly underwhelming. I think they have a bunch of talent, and they're going to suck. And I think that is what the Giants have been in recent years.
You think they had a bunch of talent?
They had Saquon Barkley. Okay,
that's the end of the list. But so for Michigan, I had Vince Young Titans. I think the team is going to be. I think the team is solid. I just don't think the quarterback's going to be solid, and it doesn't matter if it's Paxton or Shea. I think it's going to end up being Paxton, but it's just underwhelming. Same thing. Yeah. I think those Titans were underwhelming. And that's why Fisher got out of Tennessee and went to LA and was still underwhelming. So I guess after McNair, Fisher team. That's
after McNair, Fisher team.
Yeah. Okay. So any of them, name them all.
Now we're going breakers. I want to look at your team.
All right. You go first. You go first.
They're the Browns.
Like which Browns? Like Deshaun Watson Browns?
Always Browns. I don't care that they have Deshaun Watson. Now they're still the Browns.
Wow.
I think no matter what you put on them, they just always underplay. And that is mostly a dig at you, and it's funny to see your reaction. So.
You're going to turn this into a negative, and that's fun. Do you remember a couple years ago the Jaguars were good?
Yeah, man. Do you remember who their middle linebacker was?
Oh, I do. Payne. But DP, right? That's you guys are on that level now.
My man DP, love it.
All right. I think they're the Jaguars. I really do. Of that year, they got a solid defense. I think their corners, they've got their own Jalen Ramsey. I really think that they are the Jaguar, and their offense is going to be different than everyone else. And I know they handed the ball off a lot, but the Jaguars were playing a different game. That year, they were playing a lot of defense compared to the rest of the league, and that's what I think New Orleans is going to do. Just be different.
Well, I guess if you look at it, you're being hopeful because that was the only year that Blake Bortles was worth a darn, and maybe this will be the only year that Kyle Sloter is actually worth something as a starter.
That's fine. I'll take it. One,
which is positive for you.
If we get the first title, but see, I was much nicer with your team, so we'll go. Go ahead.
Okay. For the gamblers, I have the 2002 Buccaneers.
Okay. Why?
Warren Sapp, what? Peyton Barber. What was his name?
Derek Brooks.
Yeah, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp. Who was the Rondé Barber? My gosh.
Yeah.
Just on a fast, fantastic, smart defense and an offense that was pretty good and put points on the board, but you don't specifically remember. who was their quarterback? Oh, Jeff Garcia. It's just like
It wasn't even Jeff Garcia. You don't remember. It was Brad Johnson. It was
Exactly.
Brad Johnson. But I put the 2018 Eagles. I think they're an underdog story. No one believes in them, but they could surprise a lot of people and possibly might actually be competitive.
Nobody believes in them. I believe in them.
Yeah, you do, but that's it. Like,
I love them.
No, well, if you look at the gambling lines and everything, I think their defense is better than a lot of people are saying. Here we go.
You can't see it, but it's a gambler's flag.
I know what it is. But
Thank you, Kelly.
I love the South Division. I think the South Division is going to be so much fun. So
I think the South Division is going to be really exciting. I honestly do. I think they have the best defenses and some of the best offenses. Best defenses by far.
It's essentially the AFC. And then the NFC, you got one team. So
it's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't think that's true. But
anyways, I won. Winner.
You won? Okay. Well, we'll let the crowd decide. We'll put up a poll after this show. Who do you think had the best NFL USFL comparison? Vote, let us know, and we'll see you next time when we do a game preview on Mahler's Bandits Week 1. Goodbye.